It's funny how life unfolds on time. It really seems like the moment you finally let go the path you thought you were supposed to follow, doors you never imagined start to open. For me, this whole journey, going through a layoff, sending out endless application, getting rejection after rejection, came with an unexpected side effect. It forces me to reflect, to really sit with myself and ask, who am I? What do I want my career to be? What genuinely excites me? I'm not saying I'm old yet, but taking that pause made me feel like I gained a bit of wisdom. And it made me realize how fast life moves. Most of the time, we just treat it like a train. You just up on without really thinking. You keep going from one stop to the next, barely questioning where it's headed. And even when you feel that little dissatisfaction creeping in, you brush it off as normal. You tell yourself, it's fine. Life isn't just about your job. You don't have to love it all the time. But it's when you finally take the time to reflect, sometimes you realize how far you've drifted from where you thought you wanted to go. How this is not really the path you wanted to follow. Where I am right now has nothing to do really with this whole story. Currently, I'm doing a road trip with some friends alongside the Route 132 in Quebec, which is basically a route that follows the Saint Francois River, and it passes along like beautiful national park, like the big national park and the Gaspésie National Park with like some big mountains and everything. And I hope that the videos that I take during this trip can go along well with the story of my new job, so hopefully it does. But yeah, we are having a cool week. We're going to do some hiking, some sunset watching, and we're just gonna have a good time. Honestly, I can't believe I'm making this video right now. When I started the series, I thought it would take a few weeks, maybe a couple of months max. But the more time passed, the more unsure I became. Unsure if I ever get there. And yet, here I am, happy to say that I finally found a job. Or should I say, a job found me. Let me explain. It feels like every week there's a new AI tool popping up. One for writing, one for coding, another one for creating videos, others to create chatbots, and it gets pretty overwhelming and honestly also quite expensive. And that's where Chat LLM from Abacus AI, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. Think of it as your all-in-one AI hub. Instead of switching between a dozen different apps, you get access to ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grow, DeepSeek, and it's not just text. ChatLLM also gives you access to the latest image and video generation models. You can go from a simple prompt to a stunning AI-generated image in seconds. For video, it's just as powerful. You can type out an idea, say a cinematic city flyover at sunset, and Chat LLM will generate a full video clip for you. No complicated software, no extra subscription, just type what you want and let the AI handle the rest. And here's the kicker. All of this for the cost of $10 a month. Way cheaper than stacking subscription for every single AI tools out there. Head to chatllm.abacus.ai or simply click the link in the description. Alright, now back to the video. For the past few years, I felt like I was slowly losing the flames I once had for tech. As a kid, I was obsessed with computers. I wanted to understand how they worked because, in some way, I wanted to create with them. It felt like a world of infinite possibilities. And so when I arrived at the point of my life where I needed to make a career choice, becoming a software engineer felt like the obvious path. And in university, learning about programming only fueled that excitement. I finally understood how things worked and how I could build my own things. I was hooked. But then I entered the job market. I guess that growing up during the rise of the Web 3.0 made me think that being a developer was like being a creator. People like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Larry Page, the stories of building world-changing product out of dorm rooms and garage fascinated me. Just for the record, I really don't endorse them today. Honestly, I think most of them created monsters with too much power, but their origin story did inspire my younger self. They were who I wanted to be: a creator, a thinker, someone building tools to make people's life better. But in reality, my first tech jobs were nothing like that. As a junior dev, you're definitely not a creator. You're not even a thinker. You're mostly an executant. You write the code your boss tells you to do. And look, I get it. When you're fresh out of university, you don't know shit. You don't know how to write clean code or design software architecture. Even now, with the 5 years I have under my belt, I still feel like I have so much to learn. But that reality of what it really is to be a software engineer broke the dream I once had for this career. At first I thought maybe it was just the company I was working for, so I switched jobs. Then again, each move gave me maybe a little bit more creativity, a little bit more ownership with the knowledge I gained, but it still wasn't the vision I had. And over the years, from all the companies I went, when I look at the senior devs, people with 10, 15 years ahead of me, I realized I didn't really aspire to be them. It was not really what I wanted to do. But I couldn't admit it to myself, so I kept pushing, accepting that this was just tech, even if deep down it wasn't what I wanted. Until the layoff. That layoff forces me to kind of step off the train, to actually stop and look at the direction I was going. And making these videos reconnected me with the creative side of myself I had let slip away over the years. And when I thought about returning to my old mindset, it felt a bit painful. But I guess there is some truth to that old saying, do what you love and opportunities will come. Because that's kind of exactly what happened. While I was making these videos about my layoff stories and the struggle of the current job market, it made me connect with someone at a tiny startup that reached out and asked if I'd be interested in joining their team. I do want to keep a bit of privacy, so I won't tell you exactly what it is, but basically it's a small company that is building a tool around AI for the food and beverage industry. And because it's such a small team and such an early product, there is like so much to create, so much to think about and design. And for the first time in my career, what I'm doing feels exactly like what my younger self imagined being a developer would be. Building, experimenting, actually creating. Not just building features that were already pre-baked by layers of management. So yeah, let's just say the past few months has been pretty crazy. I mean, when the path I thought I was supposed to follow suddenly stopped, it kind of forces me to explore other paths that I didn't even know where they led. Some were to hopefully find a job, but others were just to have a little bit of fun and be creative. Yet somehow all those little paths I took brought me to what looks like a much better place. I still don't know what the future holds. For now, this is just a contract for a few months, depending on how the product evolves and if the financing works out for them. But what I've realized is that maybe I don't need to have everything figured out. I guess that if I focus on what I love and what excites me, the opportunities will follow. So thank you to all of you who watch and support this channel, because you've watched the algorithm did its thing and somehow it landed me a job. Don't worry, this isn't the end of the channel. I don't know exactly what direction it will take, but at some point I just have to trust the process. And if you're still out there looking for a job, don't lose hope. I know it feels endless sometimes, like a month ago I saw no light at the end of the tunnel, but then in a pinch I got something. I'm sure something great is also coming your way, guys. Don't lose hope. Alright, see you in the next video. Peace.